What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Last of Us. We are back with episode 5. Welcome back, everybody. In the last episode, we basically spent the whole episode kind of pooing our pants, doing a mess in our pants as we were doing some stealth around not only the building that had fallen, kind of tipped over, but also down here in the subway. Which I've just been running around having a look at stuff, and man, it looks so good. I love, there's a game project that I'm going to be working on in the next year or so, and this is really inspiring me to create like an underground, like abandoned underground area like this. It'll be really cool, and it'll fit in with the story that I've been writing. So. Man, this game has really just like dialed, like just lit a fire under me in terms of inspiration. It's so good. But we are back. We're back with another episode, and we're going to be continuing on. In the last episode, we did the whole stealth thing. We were taking out the clickers and stuff, and man, it was tough. Like trying to kind of get into the zone of like. I think I was kind of like trying to work out where it made it so difficult in the last episode, and it was trying to assess when my sound was triggering them to attack and what was triggering them to attack or notice and spot me. And so we worked out that the clickers, obviously because they're blind, they are easier to approach. But the ones that haven't fully turned into clickers, the ones that kind of still resemble humans, I think they were called runners. I might be wrong on that, but if the runners see you, I think they could still have vision or something, so they have like the ability to kind of just look at you and run at you. So we're getting tripped up on that, so we need to remember that so that we take them out kind of first if we can, so that they don't blow our cover for the clickers. So that's basically what we worked out, and it was still tough because we could take out the clickers now with the shivs, but using the firearm to beat them, I think it's really only viable if there's 3 of them at the most. Trying to fight off any more than 3 I don't think is going to be possible without some better guns or better ammunition. We also got some Molotovs, which we now know how to craft. In fact, we might be able to make some more. Not yet. So we need some alcohol. But we lit them on fire. That was how we beat these guys in the last episode. And it was very satisfying watching their corpses burn. Where were they? Over here? Yeah. Yeah, we lit this guy on fire. I threw one and I wanted to see whether the others would run through it and catch fire, and it looked like that was a thing. So we're going to take advantage of that where we can as well. But yeah, if you guys are enjoying this series, please do hit the subscribe button so you stay notified on when new episodes come out. But yeah, we're just going to continue on with the story. I'm getting immersed, but I'm hoping that we can kind of get out of this area. You know, maybe this episode will be a little bit more chillaxed. We won't have some scary section. I'm not betting on it though. Alright, we need to go up here. Ladder. Gimme.
Alright, come on.
Alright, am I going?
Get up here.
Man, that ladder didn't budge at all. Not a single bit. Oh, now we actually in the subway tunnel. Oh yeah, this is train. Oh yeah. This is what I want. This is what I wanted.
We actually made it.
No, I wanna explore the tunnels. I don't actually. No, with how difficult the stealth sections were. Maybe later. A little safety spot. So one thing that I learned about subway trains when I was working on a Queensland rail project. In Australia, we have a lot of trains that are above ground. So, in fact, I'm pretty sure most of our trains are above ground. So we power them from power lines from above. But apparently in America, like in New York and stuff, the power comes from the rails itself. So there's a third rail. You got the two main rails which the wheels sit on, and then you have a third rail which has like a thing that kind of sits on that third track and puts power into the drive car. So that's kind of cool, but it's also important to remember that, because if you go into subways and you stand on that third track, it's alive, so you'll get electrocuted. So yeah, I don't know what they do around the stations. That's kind of that feels like very dangerous. I wonder if there's no live rail at the station itself. I have to look that up. It'll be interesting to learn.
Everyone okay?
Yes. Let's move. You guys are pretty good at this stuff.
It's called luck.
Yeah.
And it is gonna run out.
Yeah, why did we agree to doing this? For her weapons? It's, for some reason, it doesn't seem worth it. Oh yeah, it kind of is worth it just for the adventure. Let's be honest. All right, is this?
To where we going, Tess?
Capitol building's in this direction.
All right, bet. I'm looking around. Look at what? I'm pressing it. What? Let's get in trouble by exploring too far and getting attacked by something. Oh, is that where we were? Before? Because we saw the train? Yeah, it's the looming building. Okay, so that's where we were. Oh, that's cool. We really didn't make it that far from the last episode. Man, I wish we could climb on anything. Look at that tree. Now, one tutorial series that I really want to do on my second channel is, because I've got a lot of experience doing foliage, I want to do a full in-depth series of tutorials on how to do foliage. And I might make a like a course as well on how to do AAA level trees and plants and stuff for your own games, where I kind of go into even more depth and more nuanced kind of detail in that course. So definitely, if you're keen for that, head over to my second channel, because I'll be making those videos in the next few months. And if I release a course, you'll get notified and stuff in those videos and stuff. So yeah, if you guys are interested in any of that, you guys are aspiring developers or just artists yourself and you want to know the ins and outs of foliage, yeah, I'll teach you guys. I'll teach you guys how to make it from scratch, certain tools that are out that will make your life easier, so you can get a full in-depth kind of understanding on how to do all of that. I hear a guy in here. Oh, yep. I have strayed, and now I'm gonna get killed. Alright. I kinda wanna kill them. But we're gonna avoid them until we need to. We're gonna need to, aren't we?
How do we get up over this truck? Let's see what we can find.
John, you should. I think there's something in that building. You know, might be something in there that you could get over the truck with. Just a guess. Oh my god. Oh my god, please.
Shit, runners!
Ellie, stay back!
My pipe! Well, I appreciate you shooting that one. Thank you. Can I have this? Oh. Oh, that's good that it's on wheels. That's handy. Now the question is where... Oh, do I just pull it out here?
Alright.
Watch out.
Those look more like the ones that bit me. They still have their faces. They're recently infected. Those soldiers must have just turned.
Which means there's more in the area. We gotta go.
Oh,
Climb on up.
reckon there's anything in there worth getting? Let's quickly have a look. Oh, yeah, perfect. Some shivs. Or a shiv. Alright, I'll look over here. Yeah, okay, we're good. Ew. I will take that stick. The Center of Disease Control has produced this pamphlet on cordyceps. Is that right? I asked in the last episode. I haven't obviously checked the comments, but hopefully that is correct. Cordyceps brain infection, CBI. To increase awareness and prevention of infection. Background, transmission. Okay, so what's the background? The cordyceps mushroom is a parasitic fungi that can take over the host. It can take over the host's mind and alter its behavior. Until recently, it has only infected insects and some arthropods. Okay, so it is based off of the actual fungi, which, by the way, they've recently found a variation of that particular type of fungi in Australia. Yay. Just another thing to be afraid of in Australia. A new species has emerged with the ability to target human hosts. Hopefully that's not the one in Australia. Transmission. The two known ways of contracting, or to contract, so breathing in the spores, or contact with bodily fluids of a person infected, which we usually by being bitten. Old mate shoved his hand into that dude that was stuck to the door. I don't get how he's not infected yet. Ooh, just touching it, and then he might scratch his face unknowingly. I feel like he would get infected. Maybe he does. Maybe that's foreshadowing. Incubation. After initial infection, the parasite travels to the host's brain over a period of 2 days, 1 to 2 days. The incubation concludes when the cordyceps has taken over all major bodily functions of the host, which is kind of cool. I like that because in most zombie apocalypse type scenarios, you have some kind of right. Zombies are the undead, or they're like a dead corpse that has been reanimated, so they're typically decaying. But this kind of taking over the host means that they stay alive, which means that they live for longer. They're not a rotting corpse, essentially, which makes them more formidable. Because a rotting corpse, like a human decays in, I think muscles decay over like a span of like 2 weeks or something. So if there was like a zombie outbreak that was like rotting corpses, that would probably last for a few months to maybe a year before everything that's infected dies off. And there might be like stray ones here and there, but with like something like this, because it's like a parasite, it needs to keep the host alive in order to transmit and do its thing. It makes it that much more scary and kind of formidable. So I really like that. That's like a much better version of a zombie, I think. Okay, symptoms. Stage 1, patients display erratic and violent behavior, lashing out, kind of like rabies. Eventually, the fungus pushes through the host tissue to allow for the release of airborne spores. Okay, so it goes into its reproductive stage. There is no vaccine, nor any known treatment to lengthen the incubation period. You know, now that's interesting, because there would in fact be a way. If it is a fungus, funguses do need things like plants, like need water and sunlight as well. So there would in fact probably be some ways of elongating the incubation period. So that's interesting. CBI can be diagnosed using a blood or microscope imaging test, usually administered against the ear. Within minutes of contraction, the results of this test will come out positive. Wow, within minutes. That's a really good test. Okay, that's cool. Getting a little bit of lore. I need that stick. Give me that stick. I don't get how that pole broke. That piece of pipe.
Joel, over here. Yeah, that worked out great last time.
I don't know. I don't like her plans. Her plans are, I go in and get attacked. Now you'd look under the door rather than waiting for me to pull the whole thing up.
I don't hear anything.
Okay, double time.
Oh, make even more noise. Ah, yay! I sure hope there's nothing inside.
You got something on your shoe. Gross.
Oh god, man. See, I don't like her plans. Her plans
How do
are
we
poop.
get out of this place?
Let's find out.
Okay, I'm just gonna assume that every time that she
Someone
tells me to
thinks
do
you
something,
mean.
it's gonna go
Well,
badly.
that's what she believes.
Well, how were you bitten? I mean, you must have been somewhere you shouldn't to find an infected in the zone.
Yeah, I'd sneak out. I was in this military boarding school.
You'd sneak out?
You know, Explore
Oh.
the city.
Wait, what's this?
I was in the mall when I ran into infected.
That place is completely off limits. How the hell did you get in there?
I had my ways. Anyways, one of those, what you guys call runners, bit me, and that was that.
I see.
So you're a rebellious teen
Were you
who
with
fucked
Lily
around and found
when you
out.
were bitten? No,
Understood.
I went to her for help afterwards.
Knowing her, I'm surprised she didn't shoot you.
She almost did. Hope she's all right.
I told you. She's gonna be fine.
Yeah, how did you like convince her to not shoot you? That would be interesting to watch. Right, like how do you just like get bitten? Maybe she hid it for a couple of days.
Let's see what we got.
All right, so what is this? It's like crafting bench. Shotgun holster. Wait, so hold on, I'm not. Oh, I can upgrade it. Okay, I was thinking I could craft a gun. I was like, damn. All right. So we got reload speed. Definitely need that. Capacity. Okay. So that's what the bolts mean. So they're like our currency. How do we get them? Is that just from the screws that we find? Holster. Upgrade. Oh man, I'm just enjoying the animations. it's so good. Right, so this is what I really like about the animations too, right? Animations, and this is evident in Grand Theft Auto 5. Animations can make the game feel very sluggish, where games like Call of Duty do this really well, where they will have the animations much quicker and less realistic, but because they're quicker and less realistic, they make the game feel more responsive, which in something like Call of Duty is much more important. You want your character to feel mobile and to kind of be agile in that type of game. But a game like PUBG, when you're climbing and stuff, you have to go through the climbing animation. That slows you down, and it makes it feel a lot more sluggish, clunky, or just kind of heavy. Like you're very slow when you do anything. And in PUBG, it's played to a tactical disadvantage, right? If you want to climb over something, you're going to be exposed to fire. Where in something like Call of Duty, doing slides and being able to vault over things really quickly is kind of their meta for the game. You're quick and able to move. But with these kind of complex animations, you get less responsive control, right? While your character's animating, you don't have control over them. So it feels very sluggish, and like you basically lose control of your character at that point in time. So they've reached like this compromise just with this, where they have the animation really quick, so the UI, because this is basically just an interface for the crafting system, so it feels responsive enough that you don't get frustrated. Like, I don't have to wait more than a second to see the next item. It is a little bit slower than other UI systems might be, but because this isn't something where we need to navigate through complex menus and stuff, it's fine. And then they can kind of sacrifice that really snappy, quick UI, because it's not necessary for this game to add this kind of extra level of immersion and detail, where it just kind of, we're never fully separated from the character. We're always kind of as the character, even in menus. So it never takes us out of the game. It never breaks our immersion entirely, and I really like that. That's something that not all games need, but in a game like Last of Us, it's worth having. Alright, we can't really craft anything, so we need to get some more stuff. But like, him setting it down, pulling out the mag, unloading the chamber. also notice there were bullets in this gun before, but now when he took out the bullets, when he reopens it again, they don't fall out again. And now he reloads it. Okay, fully loaded. Now let's see how many bullets fall out.
Here we go.
Yeah, see? And we go back. Go into it. Like that's just so nice. It keeps continuity. And they would have had to explicitly make that part of the animation system, right? Because it's very easy to just go hit play on this animation and just do that every time you do something. But they've added just a tiny little bit of logic to say, is the gun loaded? Yes. Then do this animation first. If the gun isn't loaded, do this other animation. Right? So it's like just those small details. And in a way, those don't really take up much time to add in. Right? Like it's just a Boolean check, basically, in regards to code. But it's an entire animation that someone has to animate. So there is a little bit more cost to do that in, I guess, that aspect. Okay, so we've learnt about crafting now. I guess we go this way. Okay, oh, is there more stuff? Can we use more workbenches? Ah. Man, this is what I want. I just want a workshop like this. This would be awesome. Yeah, table, saw. I mean, this is just looks like a painting studio. I got the shop vac hooked up. Even though they're not doing any, like, cutting. I assume that's probably, like, for the fumes. If they're working with paint, maybe? I don't know. It's cool. Wait, so what is this room? Let's see, what is the story telling us in here? A truck. This is obviously a depot that brings paintings. Is this like a restoration thing? You know, crates. We got all these paintings. Interesting. What's the city? It's in Massachusetts. What's the city called? Berlin. So, I'm trying to remember. I think it was Berlin, right? All right. Look, I meant to say Boston. All right. I knew it clearly wasn't Berlin. We're not in Germany. But look, it's 2 in the morning. You gotta give me a break, please. Are they known for doing like painting restorations or something, or is this just they known for their like art, their fine art? There are sculptures as well. Look at these busts. Man, it's taking me back to high school. We'd have our art room. We'd have our art storage, and there'd be like sculptures and paintings from students' work that was like 5 or 6 years old. They just forgot about it. A random cannon? Oh, yeah. Why is there a cannon in here? We got a big bell.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Careful.
Sorry, that was me.
Tess.
Sorry.
Oh, that was my favorite part. Can't believe you broke my favorite part. Can I knock them over? Look, now it is odd. Yeah. That is what you call transformative art, right? Of course. Oh, that broke weird. Okay, I'm gonna stop destroying other people's artwork. Or maybe we're in like a museum, or... Yeah. Yeah, maybe this is a museum, okay. That makes more sense. So, maybe like a museum or an art gallery or something?
What is this place? It's an old museum. Some of
Hey.
these things are hundreds of years old.
You see? The environmental artist did a good job. They... Like, we figured it out, obviously, just by looking around. We didn't need that exposition to tell us. Yeah, that ship. Zoom in. Oh man. Like someone modeled this. Also, the smears on the glass. I recognize that grunge texture. I'm pretty sure that's a Quixel Megascan. when you texture things enough and you've used like the same assets, especially from like libraries that are available online, like the Quixel Megascans, you start to recognize certain patterns in the textures. This is why I like to kind of photograph my own textures. Because it just means that whenever I create my own grunge or my own textures, the patterns that you'll see in them are uniquely the patterns for only like the models and stuff that I create. You won't see them in other people's work because basically I've created them from photographing real life scuffs and stuff, which, you know, it's going to be almost... the likelihood of someone else having the exact same scuff texture as me, since I photographed it, is extremely low. And I kind of like that, having that kind of uniqueness to my textures. I spent like 2, maybe 3 years acquiring and photographing just a bunch of textures, and I processed them. I think it's like 680 different materials that I created in that time. And then from that I was able to create even more materials by mixing them together and creating like variations and stuff. Which, by the way, if anyone is interested, these sorts of assets that I've created will eventually become available, and I'm going to be starting up a Patreon to have those available either through my Patreon, or they'll be coming up on my my store very soon. So you'll be able to gain access to a variety of different assets that way, and I'll be releasing them so that you can use them in your own projects. The license will be really affordable.
Right, watch your head. Hurry, go, go, go! I'm alive. I'll make my way around.
Look, they're here!
Tess?
Run!
What? I feel like I'm safer right now. Also, I don't know what it is with Joel and lifting up planks of wood or things that are load bearing. Seems to be his... Wait, where'd that go?
Tess.
Okay, we got one guy there. Oh shit, actually, you know what? We're gonna go back in here and we're gonna quickly craft. Oh, I can't. Oh, great. Let's make it quick. Shit. Also, how did they get away so quick? They're just in the other room, right? Okay. They're just looking at all of the... Oh, actually, I think we're getting close to the environment. I was going to talk about the wallpaper. Alright, we got some peeling and stuff. So, hold on, I'm just going to double check. So I can heal. Okay, I don't have enough. They're so loud, they sound right next to you. Push lightly. Oh shit, why are you following me? Oh, I don't have a thing to throw. Oh, that not good. Alright. I knew that was gonna happen. Okay, so they hit harder too. So they seem to one-shot you. I need more shiv stuff. Can I get back through? Of course I can't. You saw nothing. So I need to go this way.
Tess. Tess.
Shush.
Shit.
Okay, okay. Oh, we don't have enough tape. We got a bottle. Okay. Let's grab that. Oh, we definitely need it. Oh. I'll take that. Oh, it does. Okay, so it automatically heals us when we pick that up. Need a full shiv. Well, I guess my decoy didn't friggin' work. Can I do a stealth takedown? I can't, can I? Just gonna chill there. Seems like they're hovering there. Oh, I have to get in there? Is there anything I can throw? Anything else? There was a brick in the other room. Come on, come this way. Damn it! Okay, so I do need to go there. That's good to know. So if I lure her away, maybe into that other room I could sneak past. He opened that door quickly but quietly. So oh, so that door's now closed. Can I close doors? Shit, I'm so bad with my aim. Okay. So they can look right at you. So they have a line of sight? I didn't know. They were blind! Okay, well. Is it like able to like hear my heartbeat maybe? I feel like that door was open. Maybe it never was. So a brick in here. No. Oh no, I'm thinking of the other door. Okay.
Tess. Tess. Shit.
Let's double check, make sure we haven't missed any loot. Wait a minute. If we don't kill that chick, we can get in here, right? Wiggle. Careful. Can we close that door? I want to be able to close that door. Alright. Did she come through here? Oh, well, I feel like we shouldn't open that friggin' door. Oh, we have to open that door, don't we? I don't want to. Why? Where the frick did these chicks go? Yeah, we can stick up behind this dude. Oh, they're in there, aren't they? That's why he's going crazy. They're hidden there. Oh, is she gonna die? Nice.
I'm fine. Guys,
Is
get
she?
in here! The girl.
Yeah, no shit. You can shoot him anytime now. Okay, I didn't know we could fisticuffs those dudes. That's good to know.
Stay that close.
Woo! Saved your life. Alright, I'm glad that door's closed. Where are we at? We have 50 minutes. Man. Look at that trim sheet. There's some nice detail. So if I remember, I'll post the artist's art channel on this in the description, because I have seen some of this stuff before through their art station. Just by happenstance, I came across their art station just browsing. And yeah, I saw some of the stuff that they did for this I think it's literally this room. So a lot of the detail and stuff that you see on the walls, like for example the wallpaper and the painted paneling, the way that you do this is you can create what is called like a base material and then a grunge material or a grunge texture set, and basically you'll do that for big panel like big panels in the environment, like large wall sections, roof sections, and you'll create different variations where you'll have basically a blank kind of more clean version of the texture. Then you'll have a version of the texture where you've got basically absolutely destroyed wall, peeling paint. So you have stuff like this basically on the second variation. And usually you have 3 different variations that you'll separate. And this can be, like for example, when I do my rocks and stones and stuff, I'll have a wet version, a mossy version, a dirt version, and then just like a clean kind of stone version. And that allows you to use vertex painting, similar to how you do the vertex painting for the water, but you don't animate it. So you can just vertex paint a mask, and then you can use different masks to kind of it's the same material, but you say use this variation of the material instead of this one in order to create kind of this grunge look, and so that it's not repeated. Because you could create this in just a grunge, like a grunge version of this texture, and just have it tile across all of the walls, but you'll then start to see the repeating pattern, which is how older games used to do it, because there wasn't the ability to read. I mean, there was the ability, but it was very expensive to read vertex paint data from the vertex. You just wouldn't keep that in the model. But now, because we have access to more VRAM, the shaders can access more data, and that gets stored in the VRAM itself, so that it's much faster in regards to how fast it can compute it. And yeah, so you can basically paint different parts of the model as long as there's enough geometry in order to decide what version or variation of the texture and material you want to display at what point. And it just allows you to create all of this extra detail from a very small select set of textures. And it gives you full control over where you want the scuffs, where you want the details and stuff as well. So yeah, I'll put up on the screen so that you guys can see what that looks like. And you can do this with so many different things. One thing I think it's really effective is when you have a brick texture, which might be what I do as the example. You have a brick texture, and then you can have a variation of that brick texture that has like screed or plaster that has been kind of put over those bricks. And then you can have 2 different variations, one where there's a little bit of plaster, one where it's completely plastered, one with just the bricks, and then one with like cracked bricks. And you can kind of paint different versions of that same texture and get this kind of cool effect where maybe some of the plaster has fallen away from the brick wall. So you can really utilize that for so many different things. You can use it for not just big panels, but you could use it for any kind of model, really, if you wanted to. But it's usually most valuable to use it on these big panels, because that's where you're going to notice the tiling textures the most, right? Because the larger the surface, you can only create textures of a certain size at the maximum, which is around 4K, maybe 8K, depending on what game engine you're using. But you usually want to restrict how big you make the textures, because the bigger the texture, the more memory it takes up. So instead of having a large texture, you can just have a small section of a texture that can repeat and tile, where you could have instead of a 4K texture with a lot of detail, you could have 4 1K textures, and it'll still be much less. Actually, yeah, much less. And you can just tile it more, and then you can paint the variations with vertex painting instead. So that's a really common method nowadays to get all of that extra detail and variation without it costing too much. So I definitely want to do some tutorials on advanced texturing methods, because it's these sorts of things that set you apart from amateurs. A lot of the people that I've worked with over the years, I've worked with expert people in the industry and people who are just kind of hobbyists that get hired as they get hired for just like modeling certain things or just like really specific tasks. But what they usually don't know is these optimization techniques. So it's these sorts of things that will set you apart, that will get you a job in the industry over just a hobbyist, because you could outsource to a hobbyist and it'll be cheaper, but they don't know these advanced techniques. It's just not something that's taught. You usually learn this in-house when you're developing in a studio. Your principal artist or your senior artist will teach you these sorts of techniques. I want to press the buttons. Are these buttons that work? Or would they work if this was really functional? I think we're getting close to the end of the episode too. I talked for a little bit. Wow, that's a cool shot. Getting to see it from that angle. Oh, it's actually rather hollow. Oh, we're gonna get on the roof. We're gonna get a nice shot of the sunrise. All right, we're gonna end with the sunrise shot if we get that.
We gotta find a way across.
Yeah.
There she is. That's our building.
Okay. Nice little focus pull. I like that. Oh, here we go. We get the sunrise. I just love looking at buildings, like architecturally, or just like even simple blocks of buildings that have just like the repeated details. Like you got the pillars in between the windows there, just as like ornate detail, and then like the arches and stuff. Oh,
Stand back.
what am I doing with this? I was paying attention. Oh, we're going across. Don't push it too much.
Watch your step as you're going out, because it's going to be a little... So is that everything you hoped for?
Jury's still out. But man, can't deny that view. Come on,
That's
this
what
way.
I'm saying.
Hey, let's pick it up.
Oh, he looked at his watch.
Look, we're almost done. Stay focused.
Yes, ma'am.
God damn, alright, chill. Shit. You be getting me into all these sticky situations. Like, I was helping you getting your weapons back.
It's right around this corner. Come on.
Is she gonna
moving, kid.
gonna get me killed? She gonna get me killed. Alright. I think this is a good place to end the episode. We've reached the hour mark, roughly. So I'm going to end the episode here. This was pretty good. It was like a nice balance of stealth section. I really love how tense the stealth can get when you're when you're so vulnerable. That's something that really makes this game, like the stakes are so high, is that you really can't do a lot of damage, right? There's only so much you can do. Like, I've already worked out that I can't take on more than 3, and even then 3 is pretty much my limit. I'll probably die taking them on. 2 you can do, like if you can crack your shots on the first one, it gives you a little bit more breathing room to take out the second one, right? That feels doable to me. But if I was to face 4, I'm gonna die. So I like that because it feels like there's only so much I can do. I'm not completely like a badass with like a machine gun that can just mow them all down. So that gives them room for my character to kind of grow in terms of like strength and stuff as I upgrade his stats. And that always will make you feel more badass because like I already know right now I can only take on that many bad guys. But towards the end of the game, when I'm maxing out my stats, I'll be able to maybe take on 4 or 5 or 6 with ease, hopefully, maybe. I guess we'll see. And that will kind of give that sense of progression, and it will really feel like not just the story has progressed and we've like learnt more and grown more as a character, but also in regards to gameplay, it'll feel like we've like achieved something because our stats are better. We can feel it through how we play the character. We're much stronger, and that really makes the game feel rewarding. So I really like that. It's called I guess you could call it power crawl. It's a story. That's a story term that you will typically use, where you basically give your character a certain set of abilities, and you'll have them crawl kind of through the story and upgrade their abilities over time. It's basically the same thing. You want to kind of drip feed them, and kind of you want the kind of the progression to kind of feel gradual. Maybe you'll have spikes where you kind of get a pretty big buff at some points, but it means that they can kind of give you that feeling of progression, and that will also sell the idea that you've progressed in the story as well. Like they kind of play off each other story-wise and game mechanic-wise. So I like that they're setting that up and that we're kind of getting that. And also we learn how to craft things, right? We can craft in our backpack, and we can also upgrade at that workbench, which I assume is going to be more. And there might even be like different versions, perhaps, of the workbench for different things. But yeah, so we're going to end the episode here. We'll be back next week with another installment. But if you guys are not yet subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. It helps this channel to grow, and I'm aiming to kind of get to 100 subscribers, and then that's going to be our base goal for the next few months until we hit that. And then once we hit that, we're going to be going for 250, and ultimately YouTube has this kind of sub goal of 500, where I can kind of unlock some stuff for the channel. I can unlock a store for the channel, so I can kind of link you guys to my actual store where I sell 3D assets and stuff. So that's all to look forward to if we can kind of get to that stage. If you guys are interested in that, then we can kind of work towards that. And then I think there's also like membership stuff as well, potentially, that kind of get unlocked with that amount of subscribers. But that's all in the future. That's kind of my long-term kind of goal for this channel. It's just kind of reach that milestone. So definitely help me out if you hit that subscribe button. Share this video with your friends, people who you think will also enjoy this as well, whether it's whoever has played this. Maybe they've been telling you to play this game. Maybe send them this video and be like, watch this. Here's a reactor or a reaction video by a game developer on like what they think of it. Maybe they might find that interesting. But yeah, we're going to wrap this episode up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit the like button. Leave a comment if you have anything to say. But until next week, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a safe rest of your week, and we'll see you guys next time.